Listen to me. The hardest fight you'll ever face is not out there. It's in here. It's not the competition. It's not the struggle. It's not the world holding you back. It's you versus you. Every single day, your impulses are trying to steal your future. And until you learn how to control yourself, you'll never control your destiny. Most people believe that the reason they haven't reached the level of success they desire is because they lack the resources, the opportunities, or the connections. But the truth is far more personal and far more powerful. Success doesn't slip away from people because they're not smart enough, talented enough, or gifted enough. Success slips away because they lose the battle with themselves. The number one enemy of progress is not the system, not the competition, and not even the challenges that come from the outside. The greatest enemy is the inability to control impulses. It's that small voice inside that says, skip the work, do it tomorrow, just relax, just settle. Those impulses sound harmless in the moment, but they add up and silently sabotage your future. Think about how many times opportunities were missed, not because you weren't ready, but because you couldn't hold yourself together when it mattered. How many times did you say yes to laziness, yes to distraction, yes to comfort, when deep down you knew it was killing your growth? That's the truth about self-control. It's not just about resisting temptation in the moment. It's about protecting the bigger vision of your life. Without self-control, even the strongest talent will crumble under the weight of inconsistency. You can have all the gifts in the world, but if you can't direct them with discipline, they won't take you anywhere meaningful. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has had to master this inner fight. They knew the real challenge wasn't outside, it was within. They understood that winning over impulses was the first step toward winning over life. And until you can face that fact, success will always stay just out of reach. Not because you can't achieve it, but because you never conquered yourself. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting to feel motivated before they take action. They think success is about waking up with energy, excitement, and passion every single day. But that's not how it works. The truth is, your feelings can't be trusted. They're inconsistent. They change from moment to moment. And if you let them control your actions, you'll never create consistency. Success is not built on emotions. It's built on discipline. Discipline is doing the thing you said you would do long after the mood you said it. It has disappeared. It's showing up when you're tired, pushing through when you don't feel like it, and finishing the task even when every part of you wants to quit. Your feelings will always give you an excuse. They'll say, you can do it tomorrow. You've already done enough. Nobody will notice if you skip today. But discipline doesn't listen to excuses. Discipline listens to purpose. When you build a life on feelings, you live unstable, inconsistent, and weak. But when you build on discipline, you build steady progress, unshakable habits, and unstoppable momentum. Every day you show up despite your feelings. You're teaching yourself that your purpose is bigger than your comfort. People who reach greatness aren't necessarily the most talented or gifted. They're the ones who refuse to let feelings dictate their future. They train themselves to act based on commitment, not convenience. They understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. And once you get this, once you truly live it, you'll stop waiting for the perfect mood and start creating the life you want. Because success doesn't come to those who feel like working. It comes to those who work no matter how they feel. Every time you give in to distraction, you take a step away from your destiny. It might seem small in the moment, like scrolling through your phone when you should be studying, or watching another episode when you promised yourself you would be working. But those small choices stack up, and each one quietly robs you of time, energy, and progress. Success doesn't vanish all at once. It slips away through 1,000 little compromises, each one fueled by the decision to follow impulse instead of vision. Distraction doesn't just steal minutes, it steals momentum. And momentum is the force that carries you closer to your goals. Think about it. Every yes to distraction is a no to the future you want. Every time you settle for temporary pleasure, you delay permanent growth. That 1 hour wasted isn't just an hour. It's an opportunity missed, a lesson unlearned, a step not taken. The world is full of people who had potential, but they allowed distraction to choke it out of them. They thought they could give away their attention without consequence, but the price is always paid in regret. The harsh reality is that distraction is easier than discipline. It gives you a quick hit of comfort, a moment of escape, but it never leaves you satisfied. Discipline, on the other hand, may hurt in the short term, but it pays you back with confidence, progress, and results. To move closer to your destiny, you must become ruthless with your focus. Guard your time like treasure, because that's exactly what it is. Every second matters, and the more you invest those seconds into your purpose, the more your life begins to transform. Your destiny is waiting, but it only belongs to the focused, never the distracted. Most people hear the word discipline and immediately think of it as something negative, something restrictive, something that takes away their freedom. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline is not a prison, it's a pathway to freedom. When you have discipline, you are no longer controlled by laziness, procrastination, or temptation. You are free from the chaos of constantly reacting to your impulses. You are free from the cycle of starting and quitting, free from the guilt of knowing you could do better but never following through. Discipline gives you the power to choose your future instead of being dragged by your weaknesses. Without discipline, life feels heavy. Regret builds up, opportunities pass by, and potential gets wasted. You end up living under the weight of what if and if only. That is not freedom, that's slavery to comfort and excuses. Discipline, on the other hand, allows you to wake up knowing you are in control of your actions. It creates stability in your habits, consistency in your work, and confidence in your ability to handle challenges. That kind of life is not restrictive, it's empowering. Discipline is the key that unlocks progress. Every time you say no to distractions and yes to purpose, you are building strength. Every time you push through when it would be easier to quit, you are breaking chains. It may feel hard in the moment, but over time, the rewards of discipline are far greater than the temporary satisfaction of impulses. It is discipline that gives you freedom to pursue your dreams fully, freedom to create the life you imagine, and freedom to live without regret. It is not punishment. It is the highest form of self-respect because it proves you value your future more than your comfort. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. Every choice you make, every action you repeat is laying a brick in the foundation of your future. The problem is that most people underestimate the power of their daily habits. They think it's the big moments that determine success. But in reality, it's the small, repeated actions that shape who you become. If your habits are strong, your future will be strong. If your habits are weak, your future will collapse no matter how big your dreams are. The truth is you can't build a successful life on destructive routines. If you wake up late every day, procrastinate, waste time on distractions, and avoid responsibility, those habits will sabotage your potential. On the other hand, if you develop habits of consistency, focus, and discipline, those habits will carry you through even when motivation runs dry. Successful people don't rely on willpower alone. They design their lives around habits that serve their vision. They automate success by making the right choices over and over again until those choices become second nature. Habits are powerful because they don't ask for permission. Once they're built, they run on autopilot. That's why it's critical to create habits that align with your goals and starve the ones that lead you off track. If you don't intentionally build the right habits, the wrong ones will take over. Every time you practice discipline, every time you choose purpose over impulse, you are wiring your brain for success. Over time, the small daily decisions stack up into unstoppable momentum. Habits are not just routines, they are the builders of destiny. And the quality of your life will always reflect the quality of the habits you choose to create and maintain. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against another person, not against circumstances, and not even against the obstacles that life throws at you. The greatest battle is the one happening inside of you every single day. Your mind, your emotions, your impulses. This is the battlefield where victories are won and destinies are lost. It is easy to point fingers at the world, to blame the economy, the competition, or even your past. But the truth is, none of those things can stop you the way your own lack of self-control can. When you fail to master yourself, you become your own worst enemy, and nothing outside of you has to work very hard to defeat you. The real test is not whether you can handle the storms of life, but whether you can handle the storms within. Can you control your anger before it ruins relationships? Can you silence doubt before it paralyzes your actions? Can you stay focused when your impulses scream for distraction? These are the real questions that determine whether you rise or fall. The outside world only reflects the battles you have already won or lost inside. When you master yourself, life opens up in ways you never imagined. Opportunities seem bigger because your mind is clear enough to recognize them. Challenges seem smaller because your discipline has already built resilience. Your emotions no longer dictate your choices. Your purpose does. The people who rise to greatness are not the ones with perfect circumstances. They are the ones who learn to conquer their own weaknesses. Mastering your impulses is not just about control. It is about freedom, power, and direction. The world cannot defeat a person who's already defeated the chaos within themselves. At the end of the day, it's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about who gets the best breaks. It's about who masters themselves. The one who wins is the one who says no to distraction, no to weakness, no to impulses, and yes to purpose. Yes to discipline. Yes to destiny. Your future is not waiting for someone else to hand it to you. It's waiting for you to rise up, take control, and prove that nothing inside or outside of you can stop what you were born to do.